The second stop of our trip is at Oberammergau, a small village in the Bavarian Alps. Half of our group hired a car service to drive them for 5 hours from Frankfurt to Murnau, the village where we found lodging that is closest to Oberammergau. Our group opted to take the 4-hour Deutsche Bahn train ride from Frankfurt to Munich. We can sit back, relax, sip our wine, and enjoy the view from our first-class coach. When we get to Munich, we will be met by our driver who will take us to Murnau. 2 hours into our journey, the conductor announces that the train has encountered mechanical difficulties and will no longer be able to go beyond Nuremberg. We have been told to get off the train at the next stop and hop onto any train that will make it to Munich. We had 8 minutes to grab our suitcases, locate the boarding platform, and get on the train. Dear Lord, when I asked for an unforgettable experience, this is not what I had in mind. The reason for going to Oberammergau is to watch the most famous passion play in the world. According to legend, an outbreak of the bubonic plague devastated Bavaria between 1618 and 1648. Oberammergau remained plague-free until September 25, 1633. Within 33 days, 81 villagers, which is half of its population then, would die. On October 28, 1633, the villagers vowed that if God spared them from this plague, they would perform a play every 10 years depicting the life and death of Jesus Christ. Nobody died of the plague in Oberammergau after that vow, and the villagers kept their word to God by performing the Passion Play since 1634. In 1922, the Catholic Church gave the play a mission canonica, which is a canonical certification that beliefs of the Catholic Church are being presented in the play. The production involves 2,000 people: the director, stage designers, musicians, stage technicians, actors, ticket vendors, security, and others. To be allowed to participate in the play, one must either be born in Oberammergau or you have to have lived in the village for at least 20 years. Only children are exempt from this rule. The theater can seat about 5,000, which is almost the entire population of Oberammergau. Audiences come from all over the world. Because of COVID, 2 months before the premiere, the 2020 Passion Play was postponed to 2022. But tickets have already been sold as part of a package with hotel accommodations. I was lucky enough to purchase tickets for the play online, but hotels were completely booked. The closest village where I could find lodging is at a bed and breakfast in Murnau, a small village on the edge of the Bavarian Alps, an hour drive from Munich, and a 30-minute drive to Oberammergau. Murnau is a quaint little village that is not on the radar of tourists. There are no taxis, no rental car companies, and definitely no Uber. According to Danielle, the owner of the B&B, most of the visitors to their town are German bikers. The center of all the action is in what they call the mall, which is conveniently located across the B&B. Unlike what we call a mall in the USA, their mall is actually a single pedestrian street which is about 6 blocks long, lined with a variety of stores, restaurants, offices, art studios, etc. I will assume the villagers are very Catholic because in the middle of this street is a large column and at the top is the statue of Mother Mary. On one side of the street is a small chapel that is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is when practically the whole village shuts down. A must in our daily activity is to attend Mass, which Father Piderit'S celebrates in a church or chapel at every city or village we visit. But he didn't celebrate in this chapel. Instead, he celebrated Mass at St. Nicholas, a church built in the 17th century. This church was quite impressive. The statues were all hand-carved in wood and painted with gold leaf. I wonder if the work was done by the woodcarvers from Oberammergau, as they are really known worldwide for it. Sometimes when we're short for time, Father Piderit'S celebrates Mass in a room that could accommodate the whole group. And in Murnau, he celebrated Mass in our apartment. Murnau is also known for its street market. From 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., locals set up kiosks or booths and display whatever goods they produce. I saw one selling flowers and plants, Christmas decorations, paintings, quilts, but nothing really interested me except for one that was selling cold cuts and sausages. Really, authentic Bavarian sausages. I simply couldn't resist. I wanted to taste them all. Bratwurst, liverwurst, pastrami, pate with cognac. Yum! When you have sausage, you gotta have beer, right? Thank goodness, at the end of the street was a Rewe, their local supermarket. The Germans must really like their beer because this store only sold beer and nothing else. A whole warehouse of it.